Are you putting off essential healthcare or a much-needed cosmetic procedure because of the upfront cost? You're not alone. Many people face this dilemma, and that's where financing options like CareCredit can be a real game changer. But before you jump in, it's crucial to understand what information you'll need to have ready. Applying without being prepared can lead to delays or even rejection. So, in this video, we're breaking down everything you need to know about what information is required to apply for CareCredit, ensuring a smooth and stress-free process. Let's first understand what CareCredit is. It's essentially a credit card specifically designed for healthcare expenses. It can be used for a wide range of procedures and treatments, from dental work and vision care to cosmetic surgery and even veterinary services. The key advantage is often the availability of promotional financing options, such as deferred interest periods. This means that if you pay off the balance within the specified time frame, you won't accrue any interest. However, it's vital to understand the terms and conditions because if you don't pay it off in time, interest is then applied to the original purchase amount, sometimes at a high rate. Now, let's get to the core of this video. What information do you need to apply? It's similar to applying for any credit card, and there are a few key categories we need to cover. First, you'll need your basic personal information. This includes your full legal name, your current residential address, your date of birth, and your social security number or individual taxpayer identification number, ITIN. This information is used to verify your identity and pull your credit report. Accuracy is paramount here. Even a small typo can cause issues. So double-check everything before submitting your application. Next up is your contact information. This is pretty straightforward and includes your phone number and email address. This allows CareCredit to contact you regarding your application status or any other important account information. Make sure the information you provide is current and accessible. The third category is your employment and income information. This is a critical part of the application process as it helps CareCredit assess your ability to repay the credit you're seeking. You'll generally need to provide your current employer's name, your job title, and the length of time you've been employed there. You'll also need to provide your gross annual income, which is your income before taxes and other deductions. If you're self-employed, you'll likely need to provide documentation of your income, such as tax returns or bank statements. If you receive other forms of income, such as alimony or child support, you may also need to provide documentation of that as well. It's important to be honest and accurate with your income information. Misrepresenting your income can not only lead to application rejection, but can also have more serious consequences. Another important piece of information is your housing information. Whether you own, rent, or live with family, you'll need to provide details about your housing situation. If you rent, you'll typically need to provide your landlord's name and contact information or your monthly rent payment. If you own your home, you may need to provide your mortgage or loan information. Now let's talk about some less obvious but still important details. You might be asked about your monthly housing payment. This is important for calculating your debt-to-income ratio, which is a key factor lenders consider when evaluating credit applications. This ratio compares your total monthly debt payments to your gross monthly income. A lower debt-to-income ratio generally indicates a lower risk to the lender. You may also be asked about any existing credit accounts you have. This includes other credit cards, loans, and lines of credit. This information helps CareCredit get a complete picture of your overall credit profile. It's not necessarily a bad thing to have other credit accounts, but it's important to be aware of your total credit utilization, which is the amount of credit you're currently using compared to your total available credit. One common question people have is about their credit score. While you don't provide your actual credit score on the application, CareCredit will pull your credit report from one or more of the major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. This report contains your credit history, including your payment history, outstanding debts, and credit utilization. A good credit score increases your chances of approval and may also qualify you for better financing terms. It's a good idea to check your own credit report before applying for CareCredit. This allows you to identify any errors or inaccuracies that could negatively impact your application. You can obtain a free copy of your credit report from each of the major credit bureaus annually through annualcreditreport.com. Now, a few quick tips for a smoother application process. First, be prepared. Gather all the necessary information before you start the application. This will save you time and prevent frustration. Second, double-check everything. Make sure all the information you provide is accurate and consistent. Even small errors can cause delays. Third, be patient. The application review process can take some time. You'll typically receive a decision within a few minutes if applying online, but sometimes it can take longer. One final thing to note, the specific information required may vary slightly depending on your individual circumstances and the type of financing you're applying for. It's always best to carefully review the application and any accompanying instructions. So, to recap, when applying for CareCredit, you'll need your personal information like name, address, date of birth, and social security number. You'll need contact information, including phone and email. You'll need employment and income details, housing information, and details of any existing credit accounts. Checking your credit report beforehand is also a very good idea. By being prepared and having all the necessary information readily available, you can significantly streamline the CareCredit application process and increase your chances of approval. Remember, CareCredit can be a helpful tool for managing healthcare expenses, but it's essential to understand the terms and conditions before you apply.